Welcome to the fourth video of the all-meal mill, featuring a lot of the artists in this year's show. Would you believe, on to its 22nd year. Here I am back at the traditional meal mill at Montgeary, but I'll be taking you to many places, away down south to Catalan and up north to Forest, many places in between. So let's start at Strathdawn with a march of the Lochnagar men. Here's a Lochnagar pipe band with the pipe major Alistair Lane. The march dates back over 160 years, and you see by the tartans, the red of the Wallaces, the Forbeses, the Gordons, and a visit of the Athol Highlanders, plus the Honorary Lochnagar men, of which I am a member. I'm proud to have been in the march for over 30 years and never missing one. I held on the fourth Saturday in August. The march would take in a 5-mile stretch, leaving Bellabeg at 8 o'clock in the morning, and up the How as far as Candy Craig, where for the past few years we were greeted by Billy Connolly. There are 5, sometimes 6 stops en route where different hosts greet us with a convivial dram, and the first appearance in the arena of the Lochnagar gathering is at 1 o'clock. Back straight, pikes erect, and proud to march in behind the stirring music of the Lochnagar pipe band, who are now a fixture at the annual concert too. Well, the horse and cart are not for the tired and emotional, but to carry the spare bikes. That was the Armour brothers from a beach at Findhorn, Charlie and Ian. They were playing Kemney House, Northlands, Hamish's Tune and Caddam Woods. But let's move south now to Cattle in that bonny fishing village where we find James Alexander, who is the musical director of the All Meal Mill concert. James is playing a tune he composed for a lad on his 50th birthday who works at the Macallan distillery. It's Alan MacDonald's Half Century. And now, how would you like to meet him down at the farm? Well, Robert Lovey is at the farm of the Castle of Achrai at Cominston, and second as Sutter is Aberdeen. I hasten to say, not this farm, but the neighbouring one at the Muckin Geordie's Byre.
At a little craft upon the hill, around the neuk for sprot his mill, trying all his life the time to kill, lived Geordie McIntyre. He had a wife, he swears himself, and a daughter as blacks I'll nick himself. There was some fun at a war, the smell at the muckin at Geordie's Byre. Oh, the grape was tint, the besom was deen, the barra win, the row it's lean, and sickin' a sauce there never was seen as the muckin at Geordie's Byre. The daughter hid to stray and neep, the all wife started to swipe the grape, but Geordie fell skleight in a rotten neep at the muckin of Geordie's Byre. Ben the grape came Geordie Sue, and she stood up behind the coo. The coo kicked out and off at a stew at the muckin' of Geordie's byre. Oh, the grape was tint, the besom was dean, the barra went in the row it's lean, and sickin' a sauce there never was seen as the muckin' of Geordie's byre. Knew the all-wife she was booing doon, the Sue was kicked on the croon, and shoved her head in the wifey's goon, and went through Geordie's byre. And the daughter came through the barn door, and seeing her middle a doot the roar, the midden she ran and fell over the board at the muckin' of Geordie's byre. Oh, the grape was tint, the besom was lean, the barra went in a row it's lean, and sickin' a sauce there never was seen as the muckin' of Geordie's byre. Knew the boar he lapped the midden dyke, and o'er the rig with Geordie's tyke, the baith ran into a Bombay spike at the muckin' of Geordie's byre. The cocks and hens began to craw, and Betty astride the Sue they saw, the postie shot had run awa for the muckin' of Geordie's byre. Oh, the grape was tint, the besom was dean, the barra went in a row it's lean, and the Sue and all Betty have never been seen since the muckin' of Geordie's byre. Now 100 years has passed or mair, for sprot is whiz, the hell is bare. The crafts awa, so you'll see nae mair of the muckin' of Geordie's byre. His folks are dead in a long sign, so in case his memory ye should tine, just fussle this tune to keep ye in mind of the muckin' of Geordie's byre. For the grape was tint, the besom was dean, the barra win the row it's lean, and there's nae muckle winner the grape was nae clean at the muckin' of Geordie's byre.
We visit Forglen Cemetery now, just outside Turriff. In this, the grave of George Finnerter, one very brave man at the heights of Dargai in 1897. In spite of being wounded in both legs, he played on that battle. This grave is visited by lots of people. In fact, recently the Battle of the Somme pipe band were across and laid a wreath here. And the interesting thing about the Battle of the Somme pipe band is they wear different tartans of the regiments that took part in that battle. We have two pipe majors, Pipe Major Bill Hepburn and Pipe Major Bill Hepburn Jr., and they'll play for us the Heights of Dargai, followed by the Gordon Highlanders Regimental March, the Cock of the North. I told you we'd take you around. We're in Fyvie now, and we're at the visitor centre of the famed Baxter's factory, famed of course for their soups and their jams. We've got Fyvie's front line here. That's the main group of the Fyvie's fiddlers. Again, the Fyvie's fiddlers under our musical director, James Alexander. And they're going to play 3 reels for us: Knockdo, Islay Rant and Lorna Grant of Advie. Not far from Skerry here is the Brig of Arthur. Every time I think of the Brig of Arthur, I think in Charles Murray, our great poet from this area who emigrated to South Africa in 1888, but I come back here, in fact he retired here. One of his favourite house was the Brig Hotel, Brig taken over just by Arthur there, and I'm reminded of this poem. Twa roads, a cornerstone to guide, a puckle trees, a brig, brown water for the fishers wide, a gavelled shop, a gig, an open door for roses rent to some laird's arms a bean. 'Twas weel to win that couthie nae drouthy afternoon. A rug, a ring, the lassie come, clean aproned wi' a tray, and it was neither drink nor dram revelled my heed that day. Weel set upon a souple queat, reed chicket, snowed and fair, Legs begin smiling eed and sweet, she's that, aye that and mair. The wheel and bannock necht are by and pace will soon be on, when peart and peasies wheel and cry abeen the hawks at dawn. Long, long the weeks atween the terms, but they'll wear by and sign, oh lassie, for the Forbes arms, come o'er the brig to mine.
That was Charlie and Ian Armour again, and this time it took us to the Grand Park in Forres, to the Sunken Garden. Forres often in the news as being a prize winner at the Britain in Bloom, whether it be national or in Scotland itself. But we thought now we'd take you back to Strathdawn and back to the Lorna, just to get a flavour of the early morning preparations, and then, after the march, the competitions. Aye, you'll see the Lorna Pipe Band in the tug of war. In fact, you'll hear the Lorna Pipe Band right now with Alistair Lane. Well, continuing our journey, both musically and the lovely scenery in this area, what's better than looking down in St Haven as we do right now? James Alexander is the one playing the fiddle, looking down right on the harbour, and he's playing another of his own compositions, Colin's Waltz. This he composed at the request of the community of Fochabers under the title of Dr. Colin Scott. Well, we kind of say that the weather is always great in the northeast, and it's gay stormy as Robert Lovey lands in Pennin, on the beach at Pennin, with that lovely song of Eric Bogle, which is called If Wishes Were Fishes. Eric wrote this thinking about his mum. She used that expression quite a lot when he was a bairn. Robert Lovey.
I wish I was home again, at home in my heart again. It's been a long time since my heart talked to me, wasting my precious days, wishing my life away. If wishes were fishes, we'd all cast nets in the sea. And I wish I was young again, my song still to be sung again. The sweet tunes of my life have gone sour and off-key. Writing my tidal rhymes, trying to turn back time. If wishes were fishes, we'd all cast nets in the sea. If wishes were fishes, I know where I'd be, casting my net in the dark rolling sea. And if my net's empty when it comes back to shore, I'll throw it away and go fishing no more. I wish I could care again, reach out and share again, mend what's been broken and let it run free. The older I get, it seems, the more wishing takes the place of dreams. If wishes were fishes, we'd all cast nets in the sea.
Well, if the weather remained as it was at Pennon, we're glad to get inside again there. We were in the main banqueting hall of Baxter's factory at Fochabers, again with the Fochabers frontline fiddlers. Magnificent hall it is indeed. And played a set of Shetland reels, Hurlock's reel, Willafjord and a Spoot of Skerry. Now we bring back our two pipe majors, Pipe Major Bill Hepburn and Pipe Major Bill Hepburn Jr., with a special tune to the couple who masterminded and have run the Allmeal Mill for the 22 years of its existence. Of course, it's nothing to do with the show. It's all to do with Gibby leaving his chemist's shop. Gibby and Anne's farewell to pharmacy. We're certainly getting around, and now we're down in the rocky coastline at Muckles. And it's James Alexander on the fiddle again. And the three tunes are sort of all link, all compositions of James. There's Bill Dale, an elderly Canadian gentleman who studied and researched the contribution made by the noted gardener George Fraser. That's going to be the second tune, and George was responsible for designing and building some of the finest gardens in Western Canada and developing various strains of rhododendron, as seen all over North America. He served his time at Christie's of Fochabers. And the last one is Jim Smith's Reel. Jim lives in Victoria and typifies the entrepreneurial Scot who settled in Western Canada. And now we pay our second visit to the Grant Park and Forest to bring back Charlie and Ian Armour. Appropriately, Come by the Hills, and then Lochnagar, and finishing off with the wild mountain thyme. Ah, there was comfort for you. Remember Robert freezing and penning? Well, in front of that log fire with my ain folk. Robert, love you. Well, I hope you've enjoyed our little tour. I hope you've enjoyed the entertainment. This from the fourth video of the All-Meal Mill. We finish off by going back to the march of the Lochnagar men. We're about 100 yards away from Craig, which is the furthest out place we get a dram when we're on the march. And did I land on that horse and cart? Did I finish the march? I'm nae telling. Bye.